Welcome, kids.
Welcome.
It's your intergalactic guide to the universe. Mark Miller here, and my good buddy Campbell by my side. He's going to help me out, save the day.
Yes.
Had breakfast this morning.
Yes, I had a...
I haven't asked you yet.
Well,
Wait
anyway,
till you get asked. You're not... Are you moving into the host position?
Yes. I had a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich. It was very delicious.
Yeah. Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cool. Well, good for you. I just took fuel and stuck it in my body. That's all I did. I just reached in the fridge and went, ah. That was me. We left over, we usually do a thing called What Happened Last Time. But we woke up this morning to realize that...
we forgot to close the stock analysis window. So, here's what happened.
We didn't close it. It's been running the whole time.
And now it looks like this.
That's kind of interesting.
So this is when the machine, this is the time between when the machine stopped, when we put the machine to sleep, and when we turned it back on. That's
right.
This long red line. And it's not responsive, so we can't do anything with it.
It's oddly not responsive. I'm not exactly sure why. Could it be that we've got like 13,000 XAML controls on the form?
No, there's no way.
Maybe. Maybe. But what's interesting is it is redrawing them. You can see it updating.
It's adding points, but
it's getting new data points coming in. I was going to see if we could somehow, maybe we got lucky and we could get it to become responsive. It's still running. One of the things we can do is we can set a breakpoint here and update last price. We can come in here and we can just be like, you know what? We're going to return for right now. So we're not updating any prices anymore. Okay? Let's see if that helps us out. Yeah, if I go to Alt-Tab to it and release the mouse, it does not show it.
It's partially on on the other screen.
Okay.
So it moved.
Interesting. If I click on it though,
we
nothing.
Can't move it
if
back.
I minimize, I can see something. So
we can't move it back. Dang it.
It's as if there's something blocking it. It's like there's a mouse kind of blocking thing.
Wait, can I have just one?
Yeah.
Alright. So currently I can see...
Whoa, focus just changed. It was on the text selection button and then it moved.
Really?
Yes, it did, really. Hit Shift Tab.
Shift
Tab. There. Test selection is now active.
Wait, was that you who clicked test selection? Or Shift Tab?
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Oh, it's on Go now, which is on the other side of the screen.
I have another theory on this.
Yeah?
That I want to try out. And that is that we have somewhere in here in the tick graph, we capture the mouse. Because it's responsive to, it's not responsive to the mouse, but it is responsive to keyboard.
Uh-huh.
So let's go find capture mouse. There it is.
We can't.
We capture it on the canvas that holds the selection.
Yeah.
The theory is, what if we got into here, then we made this machine go to sleep or something like that, you know, and it never got the corresponding call to release the capture.
Oh.
See that right there?
Yeah.
That call's never been taken. So what I want to do is I want to go back over into main window, and I want to set a breakpoint here. We get that update coming in. Hopefully we'll get it. No breakpoint, no update.
Wait! Dad!
Wait, I'm on to something. I'm going to make it work.
Look! You got it to respond.
Oh, okay, never mind. Cool. Nice. So now we have it responding. All right, so that's actually really awesome.
So it was at about, what is it? Right kind of here?
Yeah, that looks like about midnight.
5:42
Things got busy at about midnight our time, which is about, I'm pretty sure this time is in UTC.
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's in UTC. So it looks like things got really busy around that time.
Really busy.
So that means a lot of trades happening.
Yeah.
Then the machine, I think, goes to sleep at some point.
It goes to sleep right... Oh, huh?
Is it no longer responsive?
Yeah, I just full screened it. Okay, no, it's here. Right at exactly probably at about 8:30 ish.
Okay. Which we think again is UTC time.
Yes. But what's weird is that it's 8 a.m. but we didn't have our show at that time.
Oh, look at this. The time over here is 8:50 a.m. and the time here is 8:22.
Yeah, okay, so it's not military time, Dad. I think you were wrong. I'm not sure, though. Because we didn't shut it off for 30 minutes.
No, I know it's... Well, the fact that it's military time is different from whether it's CT. Yeah, no, you're right. It's really interesting.
But...
Here we get into 21 August.
August 21st, yeah.
And this one is August 20th. But yeah, this is like a day apart.
Yeah.
8:20.
We didn't have it running at 8:20 last.
Yeah, I know. The times don't quite work out. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, wait. I think I have maybe another idea. This is not necessarily the time it came in. This is the time of the trade.
Yeah.
And this is the time of the trade. Is what I'm thinking. It could be, well, yeah. To be honest, this is some mysterious data.
What?
Did you want to do something with this? Did you want to grab something like this?
Oh, yeah. I kind of want to just grab, like, maybe from here to here.
So my theory on what's going on, Campbell, is it took longer to draw than it took to get data in. And that's why it wasn't responsive.
Oh, wow. That's pretty.
Make it go full screen so we can kind of zoom in on it.
Well, we can't.
Oh, that doesn't stretch out. Shoot. Okay.
Okay.
You do not have to make it full screen.
No, wait. This still doesn't
Tell me what's happening. What are you doing? What are you trying to do? What do you want to do?
I just want to save this data.
Well, we don't have anything saving the data yet.
That is true.
Okay, but if you want to save that data, we need to add that. So when you get to that breakpoint, we're going to need to move some code around to save that data. Is that the data you want to save?
Yes.
Okay, so we click on generate test so we get the breakpoint again. Okay. These are variables. Where is our actual data? It's probably in tick graph. So tick graph has got the chart translator. Does it? It's got a set chart translator, but it doesn't have direct access to the chart translator. It's probably good that that's the case, but the chart translator has our data.
Yeah.
So I think we need to say call tickgraph.saveData. And we might want to give it a location. Now I'm getting rid of this. I'm not going to get rid of this yet, but I'm going to drop a marker here so we remember to remove that, because otherwise we won't get any new prices coming in. This is our previous code right here.
Mm-hmm. That saves it to a file.
That's what I want to do. So, oops, that's the marker there.
So the what's it called? The app that we have, it's currently running, it can't take much more than what it currently has. Because when I hit test selection, it slowed down for I would say a solid 3 seconds. 3 and
well, it grabbed the data.
Well, it grabbed the data and opened the window, and when I full screened it, it stopped for even longer. But now it's running pretty smoothly after both of those things. So I'm a little bit worried, but I think it's all right.
Come on. I see 2 errors here, but they're not showing me where the errors are. There, that's my error. Okay, cool. So I got the code on the clipboard. I want to try this. And let's go implement this. And we essentially need this line of code right here. So we need to go into the chart translator. Is there selected points in here?
No.
Nope, there's not. There's a... Nope, there's stock data points. And I think we added a save method. And I think this is an extension method, as I recall. Yeah, see the word this right here?
Yeah.
That means we're extending a list of stock data points.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got a save on that. So that'll just save those raw points out.
But that's not all that we want.
I think I want them, remember we promoted it to something bigger?
Yeah.
Remember what that class was called?
I don't know. I don't remember, but I do remember that
I think it was called tick range. Do you remember that class, tick range?
Yeah.
What did we do with that?
Yeah. Tick range.
It'd be a good time to be like,
What happened last time?
it's right here. Tell us about this. What do you remember about this?
This just it has a save. It has a save more than just the points.
These are the stock data points. This is what we used to be saving.
Yes,
or what
that's
we're currently saving.
all that we were saving.
Yeah.
But now it's saving the start and the end and the highest point and the lowest point.
The reason I added high and low yesterday is because I realized, for selections, we might want to have a box that goes just around that selection.
Yeah.
If we already know the high and low, it's super easy to do that.
And the start and end help with that as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so this is really what I want to save, the tick range. So save data is here. This is the very least we'll save it in the old file format. But what I really want, I think, is a save on the chart translator. Maybe save all and pass it in this. Get rid of that, and then we're going to come in here and declare that method. So now we've got to save all. Now let's go look at the extension method over here. We do a JSON convert and we serialize it.
Yeah.
And we want it indented. So we're going to do the same thing, but what I need to do it on is I need to do it on the object itself. Which is the tick range, right? And
Yeah.
it looks like set tick range. So we've got a tick range coming in. See this right here? We wrote this code yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
We check to see if the data points count as 0. If it is, we get out. Then we lock stock data points and we call add range, which basically takes this range and puts it onto this.
Oh.
Is what it does. I think it adds it to it, and I actually wanted to replace it. So I'm going to come in here, stock data points, I'm going to say clear. Just in case. We call this multiple times in an app. We call calculate balance. We get its end and start, but look, nowhere in here do we assign tick range to anything.
Yeah.
So we don't save it. So what that means is we need to create a new tick range inside our save all method. Really, probably we need a method that just gets it from here because it's probably useful. Get tick range, like this. Start range, we might do something like this. and have an end range. That is what we would pass in. And we would say new tick range. Like this. At the end of this, we're going to return it. You do that thing where you see we're in a method that's a void. Can you hit the coder's key and turn it into a function?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, and then we need to set the values of tick range. So to do that, you're just going to paste that in and hit dot. And then I want you to look at each one of those and see if we can figure out how to get the values, how to assign them.
Assign them? What do you mean?
Give them values. So right now we've
Give
created
what?
a new tick range, but end is not what we want it to be. So we want to set end to something. If we were to take, let's just for a second,
okay.
comment this out for a second. So there's no parameters. If we were, let's start with start. What would start be equal to is the question.
Would it be equal to the start we have up here?
Yes, that's exactly what it would be equal to. So start is equal to start. So we're basically taking the fields of chart translator and putting them back in tick range. Up here, we took tick range and set things up so we could, convert them over here. See this? What's happening is we're taking the data points from here and assigning them to these data points. We're taking the start and giving it here, and the end and giving it here. We also call calculate bounds, right? The high and low of tick range, I'm not sure about that yet. See high and low?
Yeah.
That I'm not sure about. We might have to calculate that on our own afterwards. But at the very least, we're going to say tick range start is equal to start. Go ahead and keep going with that.
Okay.
Yes, I'll agree with that already.
And then...
Let's see what else. At this point, I would just type in tick range dot and see what comes in. Yeah. What other ones do we need to worry about? Data points.
High and low, but we'll do that afterwards. Data points.
Yeah. This one you're going to want to call add range. Is what you're going to want to do. Because it is a list, you've got to call it's add range, and you can pass in another list. So now you just got to find out, what do I have here inside of Chart Translator that's a collection or a list of stock data points. See that right there? What is it? Well, your big clue is it's this guy right here. See that?
Okay. Yeah, stock
So
data points.
Yeah, so that's what you want to pass in there. That's it. Good. And then high and low we haven't figured out yet.
Wait, but isn't there also value before start? Or I don't.
Yes, you're right. Value before range starts.
Right.
Is that. We have this. I'm just going to put a semicolon here. We don't know what that is yet. We have high is equal to something. And we have low is equal to something. These we have not set yet.
Wait, why is it 2?
Question marks?
Yeah, no, why is it 2 equals
Show me. Point to what you're looking at.
here? Why'd you put 2?
Oh, I only want one.
Oh.
Because I wasn't thinking. That's a 2 equal signs. Gotcha. Okay. Let's fully qualify this. Okay. Full path to file. It's here. This object we're going to serialize is no longer points. It's going to be the results of get tick range. Okay? So this is done. We really just need to kind of figure this out. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's go look at how we're figuring it out elsewhere. Maybe we can reuse that code. Here.
Oh.
Get points in range. Well, the meat of this is kind of essentially what we want to do. It's close to this. I think I'm going to take this So here's the battle. We're iterating through all of these, and I thought, oh, here for efficiency, let's just on the way calculate lowest so far and highest so far.
Yeah, but we don't need that, do we?
We do need that. We need that because we're going to need that when we do the rectangle around the selection.
Right.
So I thought, oh, let's calculate it since we're already iterating. Why iterate twice? Well, in other words, why do it once, iterate through all to do one thing, and then iterate a second time to calculate the other pieces?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, because I don't want to copy code, though, is the other problem here. The code we copy is a little bit different. It's really this piece that changes right here. Because this is looking for a specific range. Yeah, I think I'm going to copy the code. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with this at all, but I'm going to copy the code. Okay, so we're going to go back to where we were, what we got here. And we kind of need to say, if stock data points dot count is greater than 0, then this is going to be equal to stock data points at some index. What index goes here? The value before the range starts. It's a little bit tricky. We're saying we want to take all of the points in the range. So there is no value before the range starts. So what does it make sense? What makes sense for to put here? It's one of those stock data points. Which one? Is it 0? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 3?
Well,
is
if
it
it's
4?
less than, if it's greater than 0, then it's just 1.
You want it to be 1? That's
not
the
sure.
second data point. Remember that arrays are indexed by 0. They start at 0. So you want it to be the
value
second data
before
point
range starts.
or the first data point?
0.
Okay. That's where I'm leading to on this
Right.
as well.
Because it's, oh yeah, okay, got it.
Then I want to go into tick range, and I want to create a method called calculate lows and highs. Find lows and highs, calculate.
Don't we already have calculate bounds? Oh no, but
That's
that,
in another.
that does
That's in another class.
Yeah, and it also only does the end and start, not high and low.
So I'm going to say calculate or find lows and highs. Find implies we're returning it. We're not really returning it. Not sure about this method name right here. Low and high, like that. So we're going to call calculate low and high in tick range. I'm going to paste in that code that I have and get rid of last data point because I don't need it anymore. I'm not going to lock anything necessarily. I don't think I need to lock. I've got the data points right here. This is my list of data points. So my for each changes. This turns into data points. Okay? I don't need to check against start or end because everything is in the range. Do you see this right here?
Yeah.
If the time is after end, then whatever that we don't care about. This we don't care about.
Really? I thought we...
Because there's no start. I'm not specifying a start. It's the start time. I don't care about this, is what I mean, this expression right here. Then last data point, I don't care about that because that's just setting value before range starts. We're not doing that. And now we're going to not also add any data points. We don't need to do that. And now we get into this, which is if lowest so far is null, then lowest so far is equal to stock data.
That's something we want.
Yeah. If the price is lower, then we're going to go set lowest so far is equal to that.
Yeah.
Then if highest so far is null, we set it to the data point, or if the last trade price is greater than the highest so far's last trade price, then we set highest so far. Then we come down here and set low and high.
Yeah.
Okay, so we copied code, but you know, I just don't like having this logic in two places.
Yeah.
But I also don't like making the call twice where I have to iterate through a potentially large number of data points.
So
I've got some copied code to some degree, but it's code that is like unlikely to be touched. The problem with copied code is if I have a bug in this code and I fix it here, I forget to fix it over there, I still have a bug in my app.
But
But if I don't have copied code and I fix it in one place, I just fix it in one place and I'm done. What'd you say?
Yeah, but I think it's all right. I think that
We're gonna be okay with that. All right, so there's calculate low and high. That means we don't need these two. All right, so now I think we've got code that can actually work. I'll set a breakpoint here. I'll hit run. Maybe we didn't call it. Let's do it again. Generate test. Method not found. I hate this when this happens. So what this means is it can't get to it because we used edit and continue. So all that data that you want to save, we cannot save in the manner we have just created.
okay.
Make sense? What we're going to have to do, instead of calling tick graph save data, if we really want to get this data, we're going to have to kind of rewrite what we just wrote temporarily at a higher level. Because edit and continue can handle changes in the main DLL. It just can't find them, it can't handle them in reference DLLs.
Yeah.
And we made changes in reference DLLs. Okay, you want to save it? You want to go after it and rewrite it up here? Or do you want to let the data go and try and get it later? Capture similar data later. That's what I'm asking.
Let's save it now. Let's keep going after it.
So we want a breakpoint up in this space.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back and, I'm going to hit continue. We're going to come back over here. Whoops, not there, sorry.
You stopped it.
I stopped the app?
You stopped the app.
Oh, okay, well then cool.
Okay,
That just answered the question. All right, so we don't have to do that for right now. The next time we do it, that can work.
We still have a screenshot of the data though.
Yeah.
In here.
We did. So that part's good. I'm not sure how I stopped it. I thought I hit continue, but you know what? I think it's because the missing method was an exception, and that's what caused the program to break. Because it was like, I can't find the method. I'm out. Okay. So one of the bugs we have. Let's go ahead and start it up again. We'll look at one of the bugs that we ended with yesterday.
Oh right.
You want to show them the bug? You gotta wait till we get some data, I guess, in a minute. Oh, look at this. Wait. What do we have to do here to fix this?
Huh?
What do we have to do here to fix this?
It's broken?
Kind of. Why don't you hit F10 and see what happens? Hit F10 again.
Oh, it returns. Oh, okay, so we need to just move this.
Yes.
Down to the bottom?
Just delete it.
Oh, okay.
We don't need it. Because a return is implied at the end of the method. You could put it at the end of the method, but no worries. All right, so let's clear the breakpoint and run. Get some data in.
Oh, wow. Oh, right, we're still in the dense time. Like everything, there are tons of trades. Wait.
No, I think while we were paused, they were just coming in, and it was waiting for us to respond. Once we became responsive again, it picked them all up.
Still, though, a lot are coming in right now.
You're right. A lot of it's very active. You want to grab some of that?
Yeah. What was the bug again? I remember there was a bug, but I don't remember.
The bug was this. If I right-clicked here, and I want to add time, but then I left-clicked over here, it added the variable up there.
Up there, but we want it to keep it where the dashed line is.
That's the bug.
So the way to fix it, we think, is to, as soon as you right-click, save the position of the mouse.
Yeah. That's kind of what... Yes.
And I guess in turn also... no. Okay. Oh, I wonder if we might have the same bug if we don't stop it. If we do something like this, where we right-click here, and then we move over here to do the price, and then it's near a different data point.
I think we're about to fix that bug right now, is what I think we're going to do.
Hopefully.
We want to look at the test generator. Do we have, so context menu opened. See this? I have a feeling when this happens, the mouse is in the right place. Let's see if that's the case. I'll come over here, right click. The mouse is in the right place here. Here's where we want to get that mouse. Where are we getting that mouse from? It must be somewhere here. Get time at mouse. See that?
Yeah.
So TickWrap says get time at mouse. I think I want to get a bunch of variables at this point. That's what I want to do. I'll set a marker there. I just deleted that. And up in here, I'm going to come in and say, hey, get time at mouse. That's going to be equal to a variable I'm going to call time at mouse. Whoops. Like this. If I can do that, and then I'm going to hit the coder's key. Why don't you do this and declare it as a field? Declare that as a field. Oh, wait, hold on one thing. There's an error off to the right. See that? Okay. So now declare it as a field. Because coder's going to have trouble getting that type if we don't have the code on the right. Okay. So declare it as a field. Okay. Hit escape to get back. And escape to get back again.
Oh. Okay.
And now we want to add in time and mouse here. Right there. Okay? And now, let's see if that fixes it. All right, try now.
Oh, okay.
Clear this. Clear that breakpoint. There you go. Go for it. So right click and now left click far over. Yeah, see, now it's working where you want it to be. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Now we're also in the future we're gonna have to get price at mouse, get data point at mouse.
Yes.
Right? We're gonna have to get those pieces as well, but it's not bad.
Yeah, a lot of people are trading it looks like right now. Or
It
they
seems
were
more
over
active
here.
than it has been before. That's generally a good sign, right? In a crypto market, I think the more people in, the better.
I wonder why. Well, it did go up, like, in the past month quite a bit. Almost 10,000. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So now we are getting close. We're getting really close to
Being
kind
able
of
to-
pushing through one of the variables, one of the test variable time, and we've got it so that we're saving the data. When we go in and we bring this up again, here, let's do this. I'll demonstrate this. So if I grab that selection, we now can come in and we can right click and we can say, let's add a new time variable. It comes in here. We don't see the name yet. Maybe I should create a to-do of things here. Let's do that, Campbell. Switch back over to my machine for a second here. What do we want to do? Let's add our to-dos here. Well, here we did. These are the things we did yesterday. I'm going to get rid of the ones we've done. Assign individual points. What is this? Assign selection of data to new variable. So we've got this one done. Assign time to a new variable name.
We did.
Okay.
We did?
That's what we just did. We
No.
right click, get back on your machine. Right click. When we choose time, we're assigning time to a new variable name. It's here.
Yeah, but that's not what we just did.
Oh, we built it though. We've done this.
Yes, we have.
We built it yesterday, and so that's done. We've done this. When I say just in this, I mean we've just completed this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've done that. We need to assign price to a new variable. We need to assign a time range to a new variable and a price range to a new variable. Maybe these two. Maybe these. These correspond to those other maybe two classes that we were looking at. Maybe these. But we need to do this. We need to do this, an individual point and a price is what we need to do. Okay? We need to do that. We need to add rename. We need to show the variable name in the list box. Right now we're showing the class name, test variable time. But I want to see var1, var2, and I want to be able to rename these.
Yeah.
What do you think about?
I'm just thinking about how we're gonna do that.
Okay.
And I think. But I think we should also make it so that we can rename the variables after we've put it in.
I agree. So we're going to show the variable name in the list box and also by our adornment, I think. This is hard. Right? We're talking about logically figuring out where to put the text.
Yeah.
Right? We've already written code that's a little bit like this. If we look over here, this logically decides where to put the hint. See it? And if we're on the left side, it makes the hint go on the right. And if we're on the right side, it makes the hint go on the left. So we can go all the way over here and still see it. See?
Yeah.
We've already got a little bit of this in terms of logical placement of text. Also look up here. See this? Same thing happens up here. Right? So we're doing a little bit of effort in this space. But now as I start putting variables all over the place, what happens if two variables are right on top of each other?
Oh.
Right? It might be hard to read. So adding logic to keep that from happening is something we might do. It's hard to do this. If we have simple problems are easy to solve, but complexity is hard to solve elegantly. In fact, I think I liked what I said so much, I'm going to go write this down. This is like the truth of my life right here. Which is complexity is hard to solve elegantly. But for me, when I able to solve something really complex in an elegant way, my brain just like calms down. I'm like, and I experience fleeting moments of happiness. It's true. That's how I get happy when I figure out how to solve complexity in an elegant way. That makes me happy. Okay, so back to our to-do. We want to show the variable name in the list box. This might be the easiest thing to do right now. Rename might be a little tricky, depending on how. Again, to do it elegantly, the smoother it is, the harder generally the work is to do it. The clunkier we're willing to accept it, the easier it is.
Yeah.
What my suggestion is, actually, let's try
I
this.
feel like that's always true.
Wait, what'd you say?
I feel like that's always true.
Yeah, also my skill set in WPF is not great. I'm a total amateur in it, Campbell. So a better, smarter developer who's more informed about WPF could probably solve these very quickly in a few lines of code. I'm not that guy yet. So we need to then fill out this right here. What this means, it means we've got to do these variables too, from here to here. Those three. These are our two maybes. So we need to do those. We need to. That means when we do it, there's a whole bunch of steps involved in creating these things, right? There's the declare the class. There's figure out the UI. Just thought of something for the to-do. Let me move this up so it's close to our to-do. Back over here in the to-do, we need to add a vertical line to the price or to the time variable. You can see it.
Yeah. Right.
Right? Come back over here. Oh, cool. I didn't know we could have two of these up at once. That's awesome.
We can.
That's freaking brilliant. Look at this. We're not amateur devs.
And we can also close down this one while these are still up.
Yeah. So I can come over here. This is sweet. I can come up here. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. Add a new time variable right there. Boom. And then come over here. Add a time variable over here. And they're independent of each other.
Uh-oh. Wait. Was there a selection? Okay.
There you go.
That was weird.
You know what I'm thinking? sometimes I have something like this and I want to add a time variable right here, but I don't see the option. Maybe I should get the option here. Because then I have to clear the selection to right click and say this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or make it easy to clear it by just hitting the escape key. If I have a selection, I hit escape, it just clears it. That would be cool too. Whoops, sorry, I just realized I was demonstrating on Campbell's machine.
That should be actually quite easy to do, the escape thing.
Sure.
Because we have like a method of things to clear the selection.
Right. So let's do that. We're going to come over here. We're going to add hit escape to clear the selection. All right. Let's do this. Let's go after this one first. We're going to learn a little bit about WPF and templating, I think, and binding and all that. I'm going to try and do it without closing the app. That's what we're going to try and do.
Okay.
So to do that, we need to modify tick graph. We actually need to go into XAML, which for some reason is not open. Let's see, can I grab it from here? Tickgraph.xaml. Yeah, it's something called a data template. And we need to do it with the list box. Where's the list box here? Got some canvases. Details. Wait. Details. Trade price. Wait, I'm confused. Tick graph has something called trade price on it? I don't see the word trade price anywhere up here.
Last trade price. I don't know, just trade
Oh,
price.
sorry. Stock tick details. This is for the hint. I'm sorry. I was disoriented a little bit there. That's for the hint. Then I've got the two view box outlines for it, pointing left and right. And all of that is inside of CVS hints or the canvas hints. Okay, not what I'm interested in. Oh, I'm in the wrong place. Tick graph is totally fine. I want to go into the test generator, XAML.
Really?
What I want to go into.
I thought it was... Oh.
Because the test generator is the one that has the list box.
Oh, right.
Okay. So let's go do that. Test generator UI. It's this guy. Yeah, I'm not sure how successful this will be or not. But there's the list box right here. We need to add I think we add the data template here. That's where I think we need to add it. So now what we want to do is let's do research on that to figure out how to do a data template. Switch back over to my machine. And so we're going to type in WPF data template for list box. I'm going to add the word editable in here. Editable list box. Inline editing text box in the list box with data template. That's what I want. The data template inside of it. Okay, so here's the list box. Here's something called an item template. This allows you to say what the item looks like. So I'm going to copy that for a second. And I'm going to put it back over in ours. And I'm going to modify it just so it shows the name. That's what my goal is. So we've got data template. What's going on here? Is this a XAML hot reload? It just says the check box is it. Checkbox check not found. That's okay. I don't care about that. But I think there's another problem here. Text plus mouse down. I don't care about that. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to take all of that. So its data template says let's do a grid. I don't really need a grid inside here either. I'm going to get rid of the grid. And instead I'm just going to put in a text block. And in the text, I'm going to say binding, and then I'm going to say name. I think. Oh shoot! No, wait, no. It is. Is it? How do I set the binding? To a property. So I want it to do.
What?
I need. Is it path? Path is equal to And how do I specify it to binding path? I'm going to have to go look this up because I just need a syntax example of this. WPF list box data template or item template rather. Item template property, something like that. Here we go. My automation ID property looks like it's not quite what I wanted. I see. Path does not have quotes in it. Okay. So that's what I think I need to do. Back to your machine, Campbell. So right here, I want, what it's looking for now is, so right now what it's doing is it's showing, do I have anyone up? Looks like I've destroyed it because of what I've been writing, but it was showing the class name, right? The class name of what it was bound to was a test variable. This guy.
Oh.
Right, test variable time. See this name property? That's what I'm looking for right there. So if I just put the word name here, like that, and come back over here, and will it work now? Nope. What if I just put any text, like hello? Nothing's coming in, but you know what I'm suspecting? I'm suspecting that it's a XAML hot reload issue. And because I think the code we had read was correct. So we go back to binding path name. So what that means is for any item that I have inside of here, I'm going to create a new text block, and the text of it will be the name of the variable.
Oh.
This is what I'm just highlighting this. See this right here? So this is my list box. In here I've got a list box has a property called item template. In there I can do a data template, and the data template is going to attach to itself to the data for each item in there. And then I'm going to come in there and I'll be able to say, hey, instead of actually putting the word like hello, I'm going to bind to the name path. So let's try it.
Okay.
Get some data, wait for some data to come in. Okay, got enough data, test selection, and right click, add a time variable, var 0. Right click, add a time variable, var 1. Do you see it?
Yeah. Okay.
You seem distracted. You seem like you want to talk about something else. What do you want to talk about? What should we do? We can do anything at this point. We can stop the show. We can work with, create something brand new. Tell me what's on your mind. What do you want? What do you think? What do you want to do?
No, I just let's make it so that we can rename these.
What'd you say?
Let's make it so that we can rename these.
Remove them.
Rename.
Rename them.
And then maybe we should we make it so that it displays the name next to this arrow along with the line.
Sure. I agree with that. Okay, let's go back over to my machine and read what they're doing here. Using WPF, I have a list box control with a data template inside it. Data template inside it. Relevant XAML code is shown below. So, see that?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. This is the item template for the list box. The list box has a property called item template. Inside of item template is a data template. The data template is connected to the data for each element that we assign. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? Tell me about data template. What did I just say? How
Okay,
does that make sense?
so data template, it's inside of it. Data template or listbox.item template? Which?
I'm interested in data template for
Okay.
right now. Just trying to
So
get.
data
I'm trying to go
template-
back and forth to make sure I'm not just talking too quickly. That sort of thing. I want to make sure. That,
It contains everything inside of these variables, basically, and it tells you what's inside of each variable.
okay, and then
In the
inside
list.
the data template, so basically it's a connection to the data. It's a connection to the data,
Yeah.
and so the data is the actual test variable descendant that we're creating. So inside of that data template, here we've got some controls called a grid. Like this is a grid control. Over in our version of this, in our data template, we just have a text box, a text block.
Yeah.
That's all we're putting. We can put anything in here though, Campbell. We could, in our data template, we could put in an ellipse. And for every single test variable, we just put a circle.
Oh, yeah.
I can put anything in here. I can put rectangles. I can put list boxes inside of list boxes. I can put buttons here. I could come in here and put in a button instead. And the button, we won't give it a name, but what we will do is we'll give it a value down here. We'll say content is equal to this. So we'll do this. We'll say content is equal to this. Just to demonstrate that I can stick anything in here. Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to change right now. Hold on, let me come in and pause. That. Yeah, look. I've got buttons in here now. See?
Okay.
I've got clickable buttons. So I can stick
Yeah.
anything inside the data template.
So we need to put in a text box, not a text block, right?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
So that we can just change it.
I think that's a great idea.
And then we need to probably make it so that it, yeah, okay. Never mind.
I think there's a way to specify direction.
What, do you,
Bind direction or something like that.
what would that do?
What that means is normally it's just one way where we're just reading it. But what happens if we change it is the question. So let's go back and over here. Now I come in and I say var2. The question is, has var1 actually been renamed or not?
var0.
Yeah, var0 I mean, right? If I come in and create a new one, okay, it says this is var2. If I change it to var4, what I want to do is I want to hook in, I want to go and examine this. If I click on generate test, I want to go to the variables. This is var2. The first one is var2.
All
It
right.
worked. We didn't have to do anything. This is actually much
Nope.
easier than I thought. See, that's
Okay.
var2, that's var1, that's var4. Sweet?
Yes.
That's awesome. So good job, Campbell, figuring out.
Okay. So now we should add, thank you. Now we should add the ability to put, or we should put the, what's it called? The name of the variable next to the arrow that is pointing at it. And then we should probably also make it so that you can rename it from there. And it changes both of them. So like, if there's a text box, maybe even it's on the arrow. No. And then you can rename it here, and it changes it here, both here and wherever it is up here.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does make sense. It does. Let's do the line first. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
I want to do the vertical line.
The line makes sense to do first.
Yeah, I think I want to do it similar to the line we did here, this kind of dashed line.
Yeah.
This dashed line is inside, got to be over inside tick graph.
I feel like it would be inside of from test generator XAML.
No, this dashed line that we're currently seeing?
Yeah.
I want to find the code that does this. This code.
Yeah, I feel
even
like
though
that would be in
feels like
from
it should be in test generator.
No, yeah, the XAML.
But test generator XAML uses tick graph.
Really?
That's all that's there for tick graph. And that's all we need. That's the cool thing about this now. Now if I want to be able to do all of this tick graphing, I just have to do these lines like this and say how big it is. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, but tick graph is, you got to imagine tick graph is a box right in here. It's this box, right? That whole thing, from my fingers right there, from that point all the way up to the mouse, that's one control. And that one control has the ability to do all this kind of drawing.
Yeah.
Okay. So the code to draw this is inside tickgraph.xaml.cs. Somewhere in here, I think we've got a vertical line code. Add dash line. So add dash line at position. It gets a time. Creates a new text block. Adds the time text block as a core adornment.
Oh.
Position is greater than halfway across, then we figure out whether we're going to do, which side the time block is going to go on. We measure the size of the time block here and set it to the left minus the size minus 5 pixels. So this is what makes the time flip on either side of the line. That's what this code is doing.
Oh yeah.
Put time on correct side of line. That's what that does. Then we've got a call to create line, and then we do these things on it. Right here.
Yeah.
Create line, we give it some coordinates. This is in tick graph. I think what I want to do is pull this out. Do its own method and call it, looks like I'm not at a breakpoint, so I'm going to get these green underlines here. Create line at X. I'm just going to say create vertical line at X. And we're going to use a refactoring called decompose parameter. I've showed you this before, but see this position we're passing in? What are we accessing on position each time?
Oh, the X. Well, wait.
You're right, it's the X. We're only accessing X on position. That's all there is. There's only these three. There's the declaration and the two uses. That means we could just pass in X instead.
Really? Huh. Okay.
But we have to change it. We have to refactor it.
Yeah.
So we hit the code rush key and we choose decompose parameter. Go ahead and choose that. It breaks the parameter into its pieces in terms of what's being used. And it's going to change that position.x to an X. And it changes the call as well. See the call has been changed?
Yeah.
So now we've got a method called get vertical line at X. I want to turn this public, make this public. So you hold on the Alt key there and hit up and down arrow to cycle through visibility. I think that should work.
Wait, this just moves it.
Oh.
But we need to be not at the beginning in order to do that.
Oh, really? No, I think it has to do, it's because we're debugging that it's having this problem, I think, because debugging's got some alt up and down features, I think, so things aren't always the same. If we're not debugging, I think it would work. So we'll do instead, type in PUB and spacebar. That's the, whoops, not there. Highlight private, and now type in PUB. And then spacebar. There you go. All right, so now it's public. So now we got a public create vertical line at inside of tick graph. So we have any tick graph, we can make a call here, and this will create it. And it creates the height of the chart, because tick graph knows how tall it is. Right? It calls its internal create line. If we look at that, that just creates a new line and sets the X and Y positions and the stroke thickness. Okay? And this is actually dashed line, is what this should be. We're going to rename this to dashed line. Vertical dashed line at X. Okay, Now that we have that, somewhere where we need that in our test generator, where we create the new time variable. See this right here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, is this it? This is where we add the variable.
Yeah.
This is where we put variables into item source. But where do we create? Oh, here, rebuild variable adornments. See this place?
Oh, yeah.
This is where we create that custom adornment. We add it here in this list of custom adornments.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we using custom adornments? We call pass it in here.
Really?
Yes, to draw a graph. We did this yesterday. Draw a graph takes a list of custom adornments, which it defaults to null if nobody passes in. But then calls draw custom adornments, which if they're null, we don't do anything. But if they have something, then we go in and we add them. But we don't have anything we don't have any way to send a vertical line in. We don't have any way to indicate that we want a vertical line. We could do something here like this, though. Watch this.
Well, we could add
Set a breakpoint. And now the key is icon time point. We could do this. We could say, hey, we could say if key is equal to icon time point, like that. And if that is the case, then we're inside tick graph. We have the, what is it, add vertical, what was it, dashed line? What do we have out here? Create vertical dash line at X.
Yeah.
And it does not add it to the child, it just returns it. And we just need to know the X position. And here we're getting the stock position X, it's the left right there. Plus custom adornment left offset. We want just this. We don't need the offset because the offset was only because it was big. So this is going to be our X position right there. And down here, you can check to see if it's that known piece, and if it is, we're going to pass in X right there. The vertical dash line at X. We're going to declare that local. There's the dashed line coming back. And then, in order to see it, we're probably going to need to call add custom adornment on it. Like that. And pass in dash line. And that's one way to do it. Okay. Let's run it. Okay, so right click, time, and it lines up. Looks good. Right click, time, and it lines up exactly with that spot.
Okay.
Okay?
But we don't want it to be a dashed line. We want it to...
Oh, I did, but what do you want it to be?
Okay.
Tell me.
I thought we were going to make it like...
Oh, green?
Yeah, green.
Like we had
to
before?
match this.
Fine. We can do that. Instead of
We don't
vertical
have
dash
to.
line, we can kind of duplicate this and say create green price line or green timeline. It's timeline. Create green timeline like this. And that's going to be, that's still going to be X. And we create the line. It's going to be just visible as false, meaning we can't click on it. the stroke is going to be here. We want to change that color, something like this. Maybe dash it. I'm still kind of okay with dashing it though.
Yeah, I'm fine with dashing it.
We can also make it thinner. Stroke thickness.
I just kind of want it to be differentiated from the one that's on the mouse.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
I think it's a good idea. I'm totally fine with that. So we'll change this to that. Set a breakpoint down in here. And that's maybe all we need. And then we can run it. And now if I come in and say new timeline, there you go.
Okay.
What's your about?
Maybe a bit darker for contrast reasons. I will do that. Woo. Maybe like there, and then that. Okay.
Okay, you'll need to set a breakpoint, I think, to see that.
Yeah. Where? Wait. No, this isn't. Okay. Where?
What'd you say?
Where should I put the breakpoint?
You just did. You're already broken. You've done it.
Oh, okay.
You've done everything you need to do.
This is the one
Hold
we
on, let's go
want?
back out over here. So go ahead and add one again, and now it redraws them.
Yeah.
Notice that some are darker than others.
I think it's because there are multiples. Or yeah, wait. I'm not sure actually.
No, I think you're right. I think it's adding them on top of each other. They're getting darker and darker. So I think what's happening is we're not clearing out. When we make the call to add custom adornments, this clear custom adornments doesn't seem to be working. No, but it is doing that. What's happening in the add? Maybe add's adding them to the wrong one. CVS custom adornments, children.add element. Maybe we've got a whole bunch of these. Because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if we do it again and there's way more than 9 in there, then that means we're not deleting them. How many do we have?
Oh.
What do you think? Does that seem more than 9 to you?
Well, it's a bit.
Yeah,
close.
55 is
I'm not-
more than 9. It is.
Well,
I'm going to help
not
you with that.
sure about
No,
that.
sometimes it's
I
important
need
to
a
help.
little bit more time to
Sometimes
think.
it's important for the dads to help. All right, so that means we're not clearing out our custom adornments, which means we got to go find that out. Custom adornments, what is happening here? Why we keep adding them? It's here. Here. This is our bug is here. We need to clear it before we get to here. That's what we need to do. So one more time, right click, add a new time variable. Now at this point, we're going to come in and say, hey, custom adornments dot. Do you want to write this code for me? Fix that for me.
Wait.
The problem is what? Can you state the problem? What's the problem? What'd you say?
I don't know.
Okay, let's look at the problem. The problem is that custom adornments has too many. It's got 55. It should only have 9.
Right.
Every time we come in here, it keeps adding more and more. It adds another 9 every time.
Oh, but we just want it to add. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay to not quite get it yet. So let's just step through it, and we'll look through it. Right as we step through it. Now we just custom adornments is at 56. See it?
Yeah.
Set breakpoint right there. And we'll set a breakpoint at the end. Keep running. Now it's 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. It was at 55 before, and it ends at Is that right? I think it was 55.
Yeah, it was
before.
55.
It's 66, so it's at
66.
11 endorments now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's keep running. Let's right click and do another one. Until we understand what's happening here. Coming in now, we're at 66. We end, and now we're at 78. We've added 12. Okay, keep going. Right click again, add time, boom, boom, and we went from 78 to 91. We've added 13.
So it's
Next time we'll add 14.
incrementing, and then after
keep
that we'll add 15. And then
Adding
after
to
that.
custom adornments.
Oh, we're adding to the number of. Oh,
So
and
how
then
do we fix it? The call is here. It's not add.
Oh,
Because
'cause
we
we're
don't
not
want to
breaking
add
the
more.
for.
We need something here, some call here. What is it, Campbell? Find it. Figure it out.
Okay. Oh.
It's okay to wait to say oh till after it actually works. Oh, interesting. So you're going with a minus minus.
I think
So
so.
minus minus will work if the operator, if the class has an operator overload for minus
Nobody
minus.
doesn't. Right. Okay.
Numbers do, but lists don't. And even if it did, that would take off 1 from it. We have 57 in the list. So click
Oh.
dot on this and look and see at the start suggestions if there's anything in there that could help us. The problem is we have old data, and just before we add new data to it.
Clear.
Right. You need an open paren and a closed paren because it's a method called.
Oh. Oops.
Okay. Now you're here at the end of the method. That's okay. We'll run it. We'll just get it the next time. Okay. So at this point, we haven't fixed the problem yet. Are we running? Where can we see this? It's like we've got this up right here still. Okay, here we go. Add another one. Right click and add another time.
And that should update it.
That should fix it. At the breakpoint, you can clear these breakpoints if you want. Now that we're clearing custom adornments, that problem should go away.
Yeah. It looks like it.
Okay.
Hello, Surly.
Surly Dad is in the house.
Sully says happy weekend.
Right back at you.
Right back at you, Surly. Okay. All right, so now we've added a line.
Yeah.
Let's grab a selection. Let's grab this. This is interesting. Test it. All right, so now there's our selection right in there. Right click, say add a new time variable. Ooh. It's a null reference.
Because it.
If that's not null though, we can call clear. So I'm just going to add that quick piece in there. So it only clears it if it's not null.
Yeah, alright.
Okay? Cool. All right. So now we can come in here, right click, add a variable for this point in time. Boom. And there's the variable. We can rename it. Call this like say start. Call this one end. Like this. If we come in and we say generate test, we get to the save all thing here, which is kind of a temporary piece that we didn't really
Get
need.
rid of or need.
Just going to get out of there for a second. Save data. Okay, fine. And what I really wanted to do here is not save. I wanted to look at what code looked like. Let's do this. Let's right click code and say add watch. Debugging needs to be terminated. That's too bad. I just wonder why that is. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to look at what code looks like at the end of this. So I want to test this.
Okay.
Let's call this code so far. So I'm just creating a string variable there. All right, we'll set a breakpoint on that, and we'll run it again. How you doing, Surly? Surly says, just been round to my mom's with her dinner, eating mine now. I cooked some broccoli and cauliflower and bacon fat. Yeah, I don't eat cauliflower yet. I'm scared to try it.
Dad.
It looks like sick, anemic. What, Campbell?
It's delicious.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. It's scary. And,
What if we put some bacon in the cauliflower?
Yeah, well, I'll pick the bacon out for sure. Oh man, it's delicious. I hope Lassamat isn't here. Gesundheit, Campbell. Oh, by the way, check this out. That should now work. Right, Campbell?
Yes.
Well, why are you saying no way if it's a yes? All right, give me some selection here. Select something for me. Hit test selection. Okay, now, hold on. Yeah. Create a couple time variables. Give them names like start and end. Create a time variable in a good place.
Yeah.
Like over. Yeah, do whatever you want. And give them good names. Give me 2 or more. Finally, if he fixes the speech bubbles. About time, Dad. Yeah, it was one data cell in a Google spreadsheet that was wrong.
And then
Ascension, holy cow, I don't even know what that word means. Okay.
And then this, I guess.
Something else. Descension. Descent. Hold on, I feel like my mic is not
Spelling these
quite in
correctly.
the right spot. Yeah. That's fine. Looks good. Now hit generate test. Okay, what's the code so far? Hit F10 and let's look at code so far. Hit it.
Oh, sorry.
There. Okay, hit F10. Now hit the hourglass. Hover over code so far.
Whatever.
There, and now hit the not the hourglass, the magnifying glass. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
Nice. That looks sweet. That's really, really cool. So what we have is the creation of 2 variables there
Yeah.
that are
That have the according names
and the times.
and the times.
And the time, if you look at the format, goes down to tens of thousands of.
Yeah, that's maybe a bit
of
too
a second.
precise, but
What'd you say?
that might be a bit too precise, but it's okay.
It's not too precise for me. Your dad says he's comfortable with this level of precision.
Huh.
I'm totally. Yeah, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 digits? That's like over a millionth, I think, or less than a millionth of a second. So we've got some sweet stuff there. So that's good. Let's create the rest of the test case.
What's cool is that these are like they're almost they're about 9 seconds apart, and look at the last 4 digits of them. They're the same.
Huh. That might be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that might be a bug.
There might be
hopefully
it might be due to the resolution of the internal clock. It just may not get any, so it might be kind of, if you look at it at that low level, it might be chunky. You can only, put things out so far, so close together.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
might
get too close together. We need the rest of our test case.
Yeah.
Let's get more of it. Let's work on that. Because in fact, we go back over to our to-do list.
Screenshot.
What'd you say?
Screenshot. Let's focus on maybe taking a
Screenshot?
screenshot of the data.
Okay, yeah, because we definitely
That
need to
was
do
one of the
that.
things on our to-do list.
So show the variable name in the list box. Also, buy our adornment. We haven't done this yet.
Yeah.
We need a way to kind of show which one is which. I think you're right. This may be hard, not this is hard. This may be hard. We'll do this, I think, next Friday. Rename. We've successfully did rename, though. That's off our to-do list. What was I just saying we were going to do? Oh, we need to do the screenshot. We need to generate the rest of the code. I actually would love to generate the rest of the code. Can we do this first? And then do the screenshot? And we have to save the data. And then load the data. Saving the data actually is, I think, the first thing we do. Save the data. Number 1. Then we need to generate the rest of the code, which is going to include load the data, and it's going to include a cool embedded image comment to the screenshot. This is where things get so cool.
Oh.
This is going to be so cool because we're going to have a test case that has a picture of the data, which is because this data's hard to visualize, how else could we verify that the test case was right? Does that make sense? Right? We have a human readable way of visualizing it, and this is the perfect use case for it, I think. So I want to save the data first. That's what I think I want to do. Or I want to generate the rest of the code. Maybe generate the rest of the code first.
Okay.
All right, what does a test case look like? Well, if we go into our Solution Explorer, which I think is over on this side now, we should have some test cases out here. Bot Trader tests, right there. Test case looks kind of like this. It's got this and this at the beginning, and it's got some other code, and then some stuff at the end. It's got a semicolon at the end. So we're just looking for something that starts like this, okay? So when we go back into our test case generator, what we want to do is we want to add that to the very beginning of this. So we want to say, hey, look, code dot append line. So we're adding lines, and we're going to add some lines in here that are going to match what we've seen already. One of them is going to be test method. The next one is going to be...
Oh, wait. I'm showing on the screen.
This. Oh, sorry. Thanks so much, Campbell. The next one is going to be that. And at the end of this whole thing, we're going to need to append the ending one of those. Got it? Generate initialization code. This is the variable initialization code. I want to put a /t in front of this, which is going to be a tab. Because we indent the inside of the test method. So every line inside has got to be indented. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, excuse me, just with those changes alone, I want to bring the line of code back up to here, bring the execution to here, and execute it all the way down to the breakpoint, F10 on the breakpoint, and then come in here and take a look at it. That's what we have now. See it? I don't like that. Do you know why I don't like that?
No. Why?
Because it's the same test method every single time. I want this to be
a variable.
Test method name. And I want to make this an interpolated string.
Okay. I was very confused because I was like, it's still going to be the same. Unless you change that. And then we need to declare that as a variable.
Right. We can actually put, maybe hot XAML reload will work for this. If we come in here, I've got our vertical stack panel right here. If we come in here, we create a stack panel that's horizontal. And inside the stack panel, we do a text block that's going to say test case name, like this. And next to it, we put a text box, which is going to be tbx test case name, like this. Will we see it? So we're at a breakpoint, so we got to run. I think I left something, a problem in here. It doesn't know to get it, so what I'll do is I'm going to create a new variable type string here called test case name. Got the name. We'll just call this test1 for now. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now this should work. I don't know, it's just taking a while to figure it all out. Okay, so now what we can do is have a variable, have something up here. But because I added this, I'm closing this down and we're going to. Wait, I might be able. I'm wondering if I can access it by name. Is what I wonder if I can do. Normally I'd have to stop the program, but I just closed the dialog. Hello? And generate test. And can I actually get to it? It was TBX. I can't see it. Yeah, I can't see it. All right, so let's close it down and write the code again. TBX case 16.test. test. Now, I also want to, when we bring up the test generator, I want to give it a default new name for the test. This is where we create a new test. This is from our main window. Okay? So what I want to do is I want to have a num tests created so far variable, and I want to increment it right there. It's just going to be an int. Okay? So we'll say vi for variable type int. Okay, that'll initialize to 0. And then now what I'm going to do is I want to call this dot set test name, and we're going to pass in an interpolated string, and I want you to make that be an interpolated string that uses that num test created so far and the word test and combines them together. So it says test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, whatever, depending on how many tests we've created so far as a default test name.
I'm not sure I understand.
I want you to give me an interpolated string that combines the word test with the num tests created so far. So it'll become test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4 as a string each time we call it. And it's a method, so I want it uppercase. This is going to be the name of the method.
Test, and then what was it? What's it called again?
It's the variable I just created. It's on line 79. It's on line 73. Watch that code as I'm creating it.
I just forgot.
You have no IntelliSense because you're not inside the braces.
Oh, oops, sorry. I meant to be.
That's what I want. Now declare set test name.
Okay.
Now, do you remember the name of the control? It starts with TBX.
Oh yeah, I remember. It's
There it is.
and then what? Yeah, no. Yeah. I'm not quite sure what to do.
But what's the method say it does?
Set test name.
What does that mean to you?
To set the test name.
Okay.
But
Perfect. Okay, you're getting really close. What goes there?
no.
So let's look at line 182. Tell me about line 182.
It says what method this is.
Right? It says the name of the method.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's it. Stir. Perfect. Good job. Excellent, excellent work. In fact, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that Mr. AnnouncerBot has something he wants to say about it.
Good design.
Good design, Mr. AnnouncerBot. Really?
Awesome.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, maybe a little bit too much praise right there.
Unbelievable.
Okay, you can stop that. All right? Jeez, thank you.
Thank you.
No, I said thank you to you. Okay.
Cool story, bro.
What's going on with my show, Campbell? He's not shutting up.
Okay.
All right. Back over to Campbell. Flip Campbell's.
Right.
Back to so now we got set test name. And now if we start the program, the first case should be called test 1, test 2, test 3 as default names. Okay? Let's take a look at that.
Okay. Wait.
Look.
Oh.
Look inside. I can't quite get my finger in there. Test 1. Close it, create a new one.
Oh, you meant minimize it.
Boom. Close it, create a third one.
But we're not generating the test for it, so.
Well, because we're just closing it. I'm just testing that. I just want to test that piece that we just wrote. So now we've got a test case name, test 1, test 2, test 3. Now
Yes,
let's generate it and test it. Hit generate test.
Maybe we should make it so that if you don't hit generate test, it doesn't
Close?
increase. It doesn't increase this number.
Oh.
Maybe.
No, I don't want to worry about that because that's we're going to actually give it good names anyway. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit generate test and see what's using test 4 now in the generated testing. Do we have a breakpoint at the end? We do. Hit run and then F10.
F5.
Yeah, F5 and then F10 to step over this. F10 to step over.
Oh,
And then look
I
at.
hit F11.
That's all right. It works. We have no variables,
But
it's
it
calling in
works.
test 4. Okay?
Yes.
So we're getting there. We're getting there. Next, save the data. Save the data next.
Yeah.
Save this data. Okay, so to save this data, first let's look at where we want to put that. Let's go into our Solution Explorer. We want to put it in our bot trader tests. I'm going to open this in here. So our bot trader test is here. See it?
Yes.
Okay, we need to get a file name inside of there. So we need to come back in here. We're going to hit the generate test button. We're right in here. I'm going to go into something called application. Then I'm going to call get, execution path? What is it? Application.get. It's not here. Where is it? Is it in file? No. Try system.io file. I don't think it's a system.io file. I need to find the current path of execution. Where is the program currently running from? Execution path. Jeez. Okay, fine. Let's just look on the internet. Ask the internet for help. Oh my God, really? Okay, switching to my machine. Let's fix that so Chrome works on your machine, Campbell.
It does.
But it asked me to sign in every time, and
No, you don't need to.
I don't want that sign in.
You just need to press it to choose.
Can you get past the sign in though? Say it's you that's using it,
Yeah.
so that it doesn't come up anymore.
It's already open.
Okay.
Chrome is already open.
All right, and your machine. Let's go back to your machine. All right. So we want to say C#. Get current executing directory in C#. App domain, current domain, base directory. Best option all around. All right, I'm going to go with that one. So, base directory. What's going on here? I think it's just that it's not assigned to anything. Okay, cool. So now let's run this and see where the base directory is. Okay. Stock analysis bin debug. See it?
Yeah.
Bin debug. We need to go up. We need to remove bin debug from the end of that. So we get just to stock analysis. That's going to get us to here, and then we need to go up to bot trader tests. So I want to do this. I want to say, hey, if base directory dot ends with bin debug, then we want to do something. Let's see if I got that right. Base directory, bin debug is uppercase. And it has 2 slashes at the end. 2 means an escape slash is what that means. So let's see what happens now. If we put the execution point here, do we get inside? We do. Okay, cool. So now we're going to say create a new variable called root directory. That's equal to base directory. And I want to get just a substring of it. Dot substring. And I'm going to say 0 to base directory dot length.
Oh, yeah, I think so. That makes
Or you know
sense.
what? There might be an easier way to do it that'll work in most cases. I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to say replace. And I'm going to come up here. I'm going to declare this as a constant. Not there. I want it to be a local constant, though. I need this to just be a local constant. So, introduce constant, local constant. Okay? We're going to call this the bin debug folder. Like that. The base directory ends with bin debug folder. Then we're going to say root directory is to be equal to base directory dot, I'll go back to substring again. Started at index 0, and the length is going to be the length of the base directory folder. So its length, see that? Minus the length of the bin debug folder. And that should do a pretty good job. Let's see what root directory gets to do. Whoops. We call it root directory. All right, here we go. Execute this line of code. And what is root directory? Boom. See it?
Yeah.
It's just a stock analysis. We need to get to our bot trader tests. So we need to add more. And you know what? I want to add a new folder in here. I want to call this test data. That's what we call it. All right. So then we're going to now create one more directory folder called test case folder. And the words folder and directory are kind of interchangeable. And I think I can do path.combine. Hold on. System.io.path.combine. And I'm going to combine together my root directory with what I just created. Test data. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's do this. Now I found my test case folder. See it? It's at the test case folder. Now I'm going to go in and I want to say my test case file name. Full path test data file name is equal to. We'll figure this out in a second. I want to create a new, unique, random file name. Test data file name. I'm going to go in and I'm going to create something called a GUID. We haven't really talked about this before. Inside GUID, there's a call called new GUID.
Yeah, I remember we used it last time, but I'm not.
It's a giant number.
Understand it.
It's a big, big number. It is statistically improbable that if every machine on this planet called new GUID every second for the next million or so years, it is statistically improbable that any machine would create the same GUID as another one. It's designed to be statistically improbable. It's based partially on as I understand it, it's based partially on the hardware of the machine. So you have to have the same hardware in your machine to even get close. And then it generates numbers that are like, way beyond trillions and trillions and trillions of possibilities combined. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's just really an incredibly large number. It's like if you had two people in the room and you said, hey, I want you both to think of a number between 0, or between negative a million and a million. If they both happened, those two people both happen to pick the same number. It's
Probably
like that,
even
but
less
probably
likely.
a billion. What'd you say?
It's probably even less likely.
Yeah, so less likely. Sterling just wrote in 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure why. So test data file name is going to be that. Let's go execute that line of code and see what it comes back as. See it?
Yeah.
That's your number. I'm going to add in an extension. Why not? So file extension tells us kind of what it is. I'm going to throw in JSON at it. Okay? So we're going to go back in, execute the line again one more time, and now it's got the JSON at the end of it. You said think of a number. Put that on a calculator. Oh my God. Surly.
What is it?
Surly. It's boobies written upside down. 5318008.
Oh my God.
Surly, come on. I would say this family show, but you can't really meet a family without, feeding your kids. All right. Let's go into, so we've got into data file name. The full path, we're going to come in and call system combine one more time on it. Or, if we could just do it once. Well, we're going to do it one more time. So we're going to do this. Combine, we're going to combine two things here. Now. And my question is, what two things do you think we're going to combine together? It goes here and here and get the full path that has data file name. And just to remind you, if you hover the mouse over these, you can see
Yes.
There's your stock analysis folder. That's your bot trader test data folder. And that's your test data file name
Oh, wow.
right there. So which of these are which two of
Oh,
those
right. Okay.
are we going to combine together? So totally
Well-
to say, I don't know, do it, Dad. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so the pieces we want to get together, root directory we've already used here. So we've tested this
Right.
folder we haven't used anywhere else.
No.
Test data name we haven't used it anywhere else.
Okay, then.
used anywhere else. So it's going to be your test case folder. That's where we want to put the test case. And the file name, that's the name of it right there. So those are the two pieces we want to combine together. So test case folder is there. And with combine, you just put them in order like this. The next one's going to be test data file
Data
name.
file name.
And so we're going to execute that line of code. And now if we hover over this, there's our full path to the test data file name. See it?
Yeah.
Now that we have the full path, we want to save. I want to move this up here. I think no matter what. And we want to save right here. So let's come back over here one more time. We're going to come up here, execute that one more time. So now we got a different number, different path, and now we want to save the data. Well, at this point, I think we've got the, what is this thing, a tick graph? And I think we got a save call, save data in it. Full path to file. But we've got that full path test data file name right there. I think that's going to save it. Right? So we execute this line of code to get a data file name. We get our root directory. We take out, well, we actually started with it here. We got our base directory, and we took out the bin debug at the end. Right?
Uh-huh.
We then
Yeah.
added on bot trader test data, and then we've got a full path to the file now. Then we're going to save it. When I hit save like that, we come over here into test data. We've now got that test data. See it? We double
Yeah.
click on that. There it is. Okay?
Yeah.
With me so far? We have to save the data out. Test case needs to load the data. That means the first line in here, remember we're going to start everything with a tab. First line is going to be load data, and then it's going to pass a string into it. It's going to be interpolated, and that string that we're passing in, I need backslashes here.
To not have it be, to not separate the.
That load data is going to be this one, test data file name.
Okay.
Right there. See it?
Mm-hmm.
And we need something like this. We need, that's called a tick range, I think is what we called it. That was the variable type.
Was it? Yeah. Yeah.
So I think and we're going to need to create a method called load data.
Okay.
But that we'll already have built. And that's going to take it in and load it up. So tick range is going to do that. And I think that's going to be the code. So if we come down to here and we hit F10 on that and we look at this,
Terrific.
there's our load data. So we have test4, it's a test method. The range is equal to load data. It's got the full file name, and that file is in a subdirectory of our bot trader tests. So if we go into bot trader tests and we ask what our running directory is, it's going to say bin debug. We're going to take off bin debug off of that, then go into test data, grab the file, load it up. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
our test case will have all the data we need. So step one, saving the data is now working. Saving the data is working. Generate the rest of the code. Load the data. Well, we've kind of got this half done. We've got the line of code, that's done. But we need to add the method. Add the actual method.
Of load data.
Add the actual method. Okay. We need to copy this to the clipboard. Copy the generated code to the clipboard. Remember we did this before?
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we can figure that out. Do you want to write that code?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're closing this. Here we have the code so far, so that's essentially it, right? At this point, we want to add it to the clipboard. So right there is where you want to start writing the code. Let me switch back over here to you.
What's the call for the copying to the clipboard? It's
Good question.
right. It's clipboard dot.
Yeah, start writing, just doesn't matter. Just start writing in clipboard,
Yeah.
and then look for
There's a
add or
Okay.
those starred
Set
ones
text.
are the ones that are most frequently used.
That makes sense. Yeah, I know. This set text makes sense. Is this? I'm assuming this is a method. No. Okay.
No, you were right the first time. It's a
method.
method.
Oh, but I was just missing a parameter. Okay.
Yeah, you just need to, you hit Control Shift Space here, and it'll bring up the tooltip.
So a string of text or. Okay. So I think it's just this. This is the one that we want.
Right.
Okay.
What's the variable we need to pass in there is the question.
Code. Right? No. There's not a string.
It's not a string.
But we can cast it as a string, correct? Or-
Well, yeah, there's a call on it actually. Code is a class, so casting on a string may not work unless they have implicit casting support for it. But you can come in and make a call to toString, like that on it. But notice what I've already done right here. I've got
okay.
that. But we don't need to do that. I just did that so we could look at it. Your code's going to be fine. This is going to work.
It works.
Okay? Now we need to execute it, run it, and so now if we go into like Notepad or something like that, let's start up Notepad, and we hit paste, there it is.
Yeah.
Now we have to write this method, load data.
Okay.
Maybe we should have instead made this data helper.load data. Data helper.load. Because then we put it in the class and it'll work, and we can then move these test cases to any file and they'll still work. I'm going to change that in our code that we generate. So let's stop it now. Let's stop the app. Let's make that change here. Okay. Let's copy this method. Go into our bot trader tests.
Wait, it was already on the. Oh, right. You wanted to test.
Now we're going to add a new test method here. I'm going to create a new test class. So how do I create a new test class in in
It's
CodeRush?
just TC.
Yep, or just T would work. And now
Really?
these are going to be our generated tests, maybe?
I thought that was test method.
Generated tests, maybe? Generated tests. I can't think of a better thing for this. And then we're going to come in here and paste. Okay? So now we've got to create this class called data helper.
Method.
Got it?
No, wait, no, class. I was wrong. Sorry.
Yeah. And now inside it, we've got to create a method called load.
Look.
Clear method. Load. So data helper has got to figure out, it's got to get to the right folder, and we have to do it no matter what. Data helper is going to be, I'm going to make it a static class. So it's just going to have static methods. We'll never have to create an instance of it. And I want you to type in CCS. CCS stands for constructor create static. So type in CCS for
I
static
remember
class.
CC. I don't think we've ever used
Yeah, this is for static classes. So the first time anybody ever accesses data helper like this, before we even call this method, it'll initialize it by calling this.
Yeah.
At this point, I want to be able to say, hey, look, we're going to be creating something up here called the data folder, maybe, like that. And down in here, we're going to figure that out and assign it to something. And we're going to use code similar to what we have over here, where we get the directory, right? We're going to call this. We're basically going to strip that out like that. We have, where's folders? We have something called folder.
I do?
Folders. We have a class called folders.
Oh, yeah.
We created this a while back.
And this,
I'm going to create a new method in here that returns a string. MS, type it in. MS for method that returns a string. Inside this method, this is going to be called getProject folder.
whoa. How did it make it,
Name.
because it's a static class.
Yes, it knew it was static because it
'Cause
was
it's
in the
a
static
static
class.
class.
Good question though. GetProject folder name. And I'm going to do this in here. We're going to basically say, hey, look, you don't need that. If base directory ends with bin debug, then we're going to return just this part of it. Else, we're going to return just the base directory. Okay? We're expecting this to be true, that it's going to end with bin debug. Now that we have this, we're going to make this public. We're going to come back over here. We're going to use that one instead. And that's going to get us to here. Whoops. Folders.get project folder name. Okay? So we've just taken this code and we've simplified it a little bit. Oops, I forgot test data file name. I lost that. It was in this code right there. Okay, so test data file name is that. Get the root directory. Maybe we'll call this the project directory instead. Maybe even better, project folder. Test case folder. Test case data file name. All right, so now, I'm going to copy this now to the clipboard. We're going to come back over into our custom tick tests, into our data helper, and we're going to paste that in and we're trying to figure that out. So folders, get project folder name. And then we want to say, we don't need to add bot trader test because we're already in that one, but we want to add test data to it. And then we're going to say data folder is equal to that. We don't need this or this. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, then when we call load, we're going to get the full path name. This is going to be the data file name. Like that. That's a parameter. We're going to do path combine, and we're going to combine the data folder with what? What goes here?
Oh, okay. I'm not sure, but I'm assuming it's...
What do you think it is? We need the full path to the test data file name. We know we're going to combine two things. The data folder, right? That's the folder where the test path is, right? This. And we need that guy, whatever that one's going to be.
Oh, that's the test case name, I think?
Yeah, it's the test case name. But where is it? It's somewhere in this space. What am I going to use
Oh,
here?
data file name.
That's it. Good job. Right? So that's how the parameters are working, right? We're passing the parameter in and we're just using it right there. Now that I've got the full path to the test data file name, I should be able to come in here and say, I think, what is it, JSON convert? And we need to do a using here, using Newtonsoft, and we're going to come in and we're going to say deserialize object. We'll say we're expecting to find a tick range, right? And the value is going to be what we load it from the file. We need to load it from the file. What is it? File, is there a read? All text? Sweet. Needs a path, full path, to test data file name. Declare local there. We're going to call this the JSON. There. And then we're going to we just need to return this. We don't even need to do anything else. We just return it. So now there's our load. It's 3 lines of code. I think it'll work. All right, so there's a load. And now the app's not running anymore, so we don't have any, but we should be able to query the data. If we put a breakpoint here and we say run this test method, the question is it going to work? Debug it. So choose debug test. Is it going to work? Is it going to load that data up? So if we just hit F10 on this, well, we can step into it too. So here we go. We've got KidzCode source, stock analysis, bot trigger tests, bin debug. I didn't get rid of the bin debug. Oh, that's not good. So project folder, this failed. We need to stop and restart the debugging. Let's try one more time. Bug test. Okay, hit F10. This should get us over here. Get project folder name. Why is this failing? Ah, it doesn't end with the double slash. See? In one case it does. In the other case it does not. So what I want to do here is I think I want to say this. I want to say, hey, look, if base directory dot ends with a slash, if it ends with a slash, then I want to say base directory is equal to base directory dot substring starting at 0 and going to base directory length -1. Why am I not getting sub? No IntelliSense there for some reason. We'll try again. So up here, base directory. Whoa, okay, and then here I want to fix this to that. One more time. There, and there, and there. And now, combine it, and what do we get? Yeah, there, look at that. Stock analysis, bot trader test data. There's the file name. Okay,
Yeah.
good. There's the JSON. Hit that right there. That's your JSON. That looks good. See it?
Uh-huh.
That's our data. Those are the data points we had selected. Returning the deserialization, let's see if that works. Do we actually get a range? Look at this. We got a range with 5 points. There's the time and the date right there on the tick. And going to the tick, we see the lowest ask price, the symbol. It's all the data's there. We got a high and low. We got a high of what? I think this was a flat line. 49,589.192. And a low 49,589.192. So it's the same. It didn't change.
Okay.
But now there's our test, or at least the start of it. We've got the range, right? We've got the range. We add the additional pieces on. Our test cases are going to work. They're going to load up the data. We need the picture. That's the last thing. The
Yeah.
screenshot goes here.
Maybe we do that next show. 'Cause
Right.
we're running out
Let's
of
do
time.
the next show. What? What? Campbell?
I'm not saying this.
What? Well, okay. Are you sure? You sure you want to do that?
Okay. We can.
But Campbell, we really need to stop. Your dad needs a break.
Do you want to finish it
It's
though?
time to go get some bacon. All right, you saved. You saved. All right, let's do this. Time to get some bacon. We'll end the show. We're going to do the screenshot next Friday. That's what we'll do. We'll put the screenshot in. We'll add the other variables, and then we'll start being able to actually write some test cases on this that are going to be awesome. It's not broken. It's not
They're
broken.
all gonna
I don't know
fail.
why I'm thinking it's broken. Maybe it is broken. What'd you say, Campbell?
They're all gonna fail currently because we don't have any structure in place.
No. That's what I'm saying. We're going to get here. We're going to have
Yeah, I
things
know,
like the
I know.
variables will be here, right? Those will be
I know.
auto-generated.
They're-
And then we're going to write
they're-
our asserts here, like assert equal, whatever.
Yes. So it's not. I'm just saying that the test cases are. They're just to make sure that our code works when we write it.
All right. Why don't you check it in? Check in the stuff. Check in the code.
Can you get up the to-do list so that I can see what we did?
What did you ask?
Can you get up the to-do list so that I can see?
Yeah, I kind of deleted some things. It's better to look at the code. If you look at the code and click on it, you kind of see the things that we've done. Here's one of the things. Do you understand these green lines of code, what they do?
Yes, that's. Okay.
Right, so just kind of do that. Just kind of scroll up and down, look at each one. We're deleting comments here, so no big deal there. Okay. Let's get a raid going. So thanks for joining us. Lon and Lex out there. We'll get that raid. Campbell's going to check in that code. We'll see you on Friday of next week.
Yes, Friday, but not the Saturday after that.
Take care, everybody.
Okay. Goodbye.
See you, kids.